In this video, we are going to be comparing Meguiar's Wheel Brightener and Super Clean Degreaser on cleaning car wheels. Now let's get straight into it. What's going on? So glad you guys are here and welcome back to the Wilson Auto Detailing community. If you are a professional auto detailer who wants to become more successful and profitable in your business, or just a car enthusiast who wants to improve your detailing ability, then definitely consider hitting that big red subscribe button right below this video. So many of you guys who are involved in the Wilson Auto Detailing community have asked me about Super Clean and car wheels because many of you know, if you've been detailing for any sort of time, that degreaser can be dangerous to use on wheels, especially wheels that are bare or wheels that are not actually coated or wheels that are not like from the manufacturer directly, that have been refurbished, things like that. It can get dicey and can get dangerous using degreaser on wheels. And so, of course, you guys know that I love Meguiar's Wheel Brightener on wheels because this is an acidic cleaner and acid reacts with brake dust very effectively. So do I know this is going to be effective? Yes. Really what I want to see is how effective is the Alkaline Super Clean Degreaser on car wheels versus the acidic cleaner, because really this is kind of opposite end of the spectrum. So let me explain what I mean. In the detailing world, everybody talks about the pH scale. You have pH neutral soaps and pH neutral cleaners and all that sort of stuff, which, if you ask me, is kind of just a marketing strategy, because when you say something is pH neutral, you have to ask, well, neutral relative to what? Do you mean that the pH it measures 7 because the pH scale is from 0 to 14, and so if it's neutral, it's right in the middle? But then if it's neutral and it's in the middle, that means it's probably just water, because water is kind of the baseline there, so it doesn't really have any cleaning ability in the first place. So once again, in the detailing world, it's a good example of having to watch out for marketing schemes, because once again, when you say something is pH neutral, you have to ask the question, neutral relative to what? Because if it's not just a 7 on the pH scale and it's just water, well, what is it neutral relative to? Is neutral relative to lemon juice, or neutral relative to water or blood or whatever? So the reason why this comparison is going to be a good one is because Meguiar's Wheel Brightener, as I said before, is an acidic cleaner, which basically means that it measures from 0 to 7 on the pH scale, or 0 to a little bit below 7 on the pH scale is going to be anything that's an acid. And not to get too nerdy or anything, but a lot of people talk about and try to define what an acid and a base is, but the truth is, the true definition of an acid would be anything that donates the hydrogen in the chemical equation, and then the base would be anything on the product side that actually receives the hydrogen. Usually looks something like a hydroxide. I had to take a lot of chemistry because I was a pre-med student for a while, so I got loaded down with chemistry, organic chemistry, all that sort of stuff, and that's basically all you talk about is the pH scale. So once again, this is an acidic cleaner, so this is going to react with the brake dust very well. Some people freak out about acid because they think, well, acid is gonna, like, you know, burn things or damage things, but the truth is there's a lot of things that are acids that you eat or drink, like lemon juice is an acid, and even sometimes water can measure acidic on the pH scale, just like water can sometimes measure basic. So when I say that the Super Clean is an alkaline cleaner, what I mean is that it measures a base on the pH scale. So it's going to measure anywhere from 7 or a little bit above 7 to 14 on the pH scale. Actually, the exact measurement, I looked it up one time, it's somewhere around 11 to 11 and a half. So it is very basic. Another word that you could use for that is alkaline. So when somebody says something is an alkaline cleaner, what they mean is that it is going to be basic. It is going to receive the hydrogen in the chemical equation. And actually, a lot of cleaners are alkaline. Basically, probably 8 out of 10 cleaners around the house or car detailing cleaners are going to be alkaline. That's kind of the general consensus when you're cleaning things. But all of that is kind of a huge side note that I just wanted to explain before we actually got into this, so that you understand why things are doing what they're doing. So let's go ahead and use the Super Clean first, diluted 5 to 1 on this wheel, and see how well it does. Now, I'm not actually going to wet this wheel before I do it, because I want the cleaner to be as effective as it can, so I don't want to spray the hose on it and then kind of dilute the cleaner even more than I already have. Now, what you guys can see here is that this is a very dirty wheel. It has not been cleaned in quite some time. I'm not going to be cleaning the inner part of the wheel because the brake dust in the inner part has in a lot of ways become permanent and kind of eroded or corroded into the metal itself, and so I'm not going to be able to clean that very effectively. So I'm just going to stick with the face of the wheel, and I'm going to spray the Super Clean diluted 5 to 1 all over this wheel, and I'm going to be super liberal with it because, once again, I'm trying to let the cleaner be as effective as possible, so I want to use as much as I kind of feel comfortable using without wasting it. And then I'm going to take my feathered wheel brush, and I might even spray some of the cleaner on the wheel brush, and then I'm just going to agitate it just like this. Now normally I would get in these nuts and bolts and stuff, but for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna keep it simple and go ahead and hose it off. So we're gonna go ahead and let that dry for just a second, move to the other wheel with the Meguiar's wheel brightener, and then we'll compare both after they're both finished. And I'm going to wash off my wheel brush to make sure that I'm not having any cleaners mix and things like that. So this is the driver's wheel, and I'll just do this again so you guys can kind of see. It is basically just as dirty, still very disgusting. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray the acidic wheel cleaner, diluted 5:1 as well, all over this wheel. And one thing that's important to understand about this acidic wheel cleaner, and one of the reasons why I love it so much, is simply because it starts to break down the brake dust before I even start to scrub. And apparently I need a new spray bottle because this is not working very well. But once again, it breaks down the brake dust before I do anything else, and so it makes my work a lot easier. Anything in the detailing world that makes my life easier is something that I want. Any product that is kind of safe to use and at the same time it doesn't hurt anything and makes my life easier, obviously, for obvious reasons, that's going to be a win-win. Now, one other note about this product is that you may want to use a mask while you're using it, because the Meguiar's wheel brightener does produce very, very strong fumes that does kind of not go with your body very well. There's been testimonies of people who've gotten kind of sick because of it and caused sort of lasting issues. So let's go ahead and hose this off. So now we're gonna let this one dry, go back to the Super Clean, look at the Super Clean first, then look at this one after it's more dry. So here is the wheel where we use the Super Clean diluted 5:1. Now if you pause it and look really, really closely, you'll probably see there's a couple little corners that I missed here, but that's not because the product didn't work. That's because I was just rushing because I wanted to get this video in. But you guys can see here that it looks really fantastic, honestly, and it didn't damage anything. Now if you're a detailer, you know that most, at least if the wheel is from the manufacturer, hasn't been redone, hasn't been replaced in any way, that this wheel is going to have a clear coat on it. It's going to have a clear coat, kind of sacrificial protective barrier. So the Super Clean is not damaging anything because the Super Clean is not hitting the metal directly. Now, would it damage anything if it hit the metal directly? Well, I'm not really sure, but once again, it's just cleaning that outer plastic clear coated layer, much like the paint. So once again, the alkaline based cleaner did very, very well here. So the basic cleaner, the Super Clean, definitely gave me the results I wanted. And I would not say that one was harder to use than the other. I'd say they were both probably equally easy to use. Now this is the Meguiar's wheel brightener side, and all this stuff that you see up here, none of that is a cleaning issue. All of that is actually damage where the car has been kind of rubbed up against things and all that sort of stuff. But as you guys can see, beyond the damage, it definitely looks probably just as good, of course, ignoring the road rash and the curb rash. It looks just as good as the other wheel that the alkaline cleaner cleaned. This acidic cleaner did just as good of a job and kind of illustrates a point that I'm wanting to make. Do I prefer the Meguiar's wheel brightener over the Super Clean for wheels? Yes, I do, because once again, the acidic cleaner reacts with the brake dust in a way that alkaline cleaners do not react with brake dust. And so in this situation, yes, the alkaline cleaner, the Super Clean, did just as well. However, in other situations, it is not going to do just as well, and it is going to be very, very difficult. If you have ever cleaned hammered tires and hammered wheels that are just brake dust ridden, a basic cleaner or a degreaser is going to be difficult to use, whereas if you have an acidic cleaner in your arsenal, and once again it's safe to use on these particular wheels, it is going to save you time, energy, and probably save you a bad attitude, because it is so much easier to use, because once again that acid reacts in a way that the basic cleaners, the degreasers, don't react. But again, in most situations where wheels are not terribly hammered, yes, you could use either one of these and they would both give great results. So as is the case with many things in the detailing world, both of these products do a fantastic job on this particular scenario, on these specific wheels, and in this particular situation. So if you guys like this video and it added some value to your life, hit the thumbs up button. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hook up all that stuff in the YouTube comments below, because I always read those and I'm sure to get back to you guys as fast as I can. And if you guys would like to get your hands on Super Clean or even on the Meguiar's wheel brightener, then definitely look at the YouTube description box below. There will be Amazon links to both of those products and to the feathered soft wheel brush that I use, because of course I always hook up Amazon links to any of the products or tools I use in these videos in case you guys want to get them as well. And if you do use my links to purchase anything from Amazon, it does give this channel a very small commission, but it helps this channel stay alive so I can continue to give out awesome content just like this all the time. And if you are new here to the Wilson Auto Detailing community, then definitely consider subscribing, because I come out with videos all the time just like this on products, tools, strategies, communication skills, business skills, and so much more, all in an effort to help the pro detailers become more successful and profitable in their businesses. And on this channel, I share the same strategies that took my business to a full-time income with part-time hours. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.